Hello, I'm Joe, aka Mr. Fragrance, and today I'm going to be talking about 3 fragrances that surprised me in 2020. Enjoy the video. So, welcome back. This is another tag video, so I'd like to thank the Fragrance Wardrobe for tagging me in this video. He is doing a 3-part series, I believe. He's doing indie, and he's doing niche, and he's already done a designer one as well. So he's doing 3 fragrances in each of those videos that surprised him in 2020, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. Before I move into the video, I rarely do this, but you know, just to keep it ticking, I'd like to say, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this content, please do like, subscribe, and comment on the video as well. I do it as regularly as I can, and I'm trying to stick to a strict 2-day schedule. As you'll see if you look back through the videos though, I've not managed to keep up to that, so I'm sorry everyone for the slight delay in videos. Anyhow, before I move on to reviewing them, I will put a little timestamp at the bottom so you can skip this bit if you would like, but this is the tags. So I'm going to be tagging 3 people, and these are all going to be people that I discovered through Centralize's Barry from Centralize. He does a brilliant series of videos where he basically shouts out new and up and coming subscribers. I should really start doing this a little bit more, actually, going through his videos and tagging people that maybe are new and up and coming. This video, I believe these are people that he just hasn't gotten around to doing it, so they're maybe a little bit like above 200 subscribers for some of them. I know that one of them is actually, one of the guys I'm tagging, but is 500 subscribers, but I watched through all their content today and it is great content. Some of them are making really, really good content. So I've tagged 3 people that I think really speak well and I think would really enjoy this tag. So the first one is Fat Boy Fragrances. Love your name, mate. And the next one is Honest Reviews, I believe his name is. And so you're tagged as well. And then we've got Northwest Reviews as well. I liked his channel a lot. He seemed quite funny, and yeah, great reviewer as well. These are 3 people that really do produce very good content, and I recommend you check out their channels. So let's move on to the video. Now, a minor disclaimer before these first 2 are slightly niche-ish, not quite niche, but you know, they're kind of niche fragrances. And these 2 were sent to me. The first 2 were sent to me for free. I'd like to say that they were sent to me for free, but that in no way has influenced me putting them into this category of free fragrances. I literally picked 3 fragrances that to me surprised me and absolutely just blew my socks off. Like, these are 3 incredible fragrances, and the first one is Black Oud by Zeus. And so let's get the bottle out. We've got an amazing presentation, really beautiful presentation. And this here is the Black Zeus bottle. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's honestly, when I first tried it, I couldn't believe how incredible it was. I did a nice review of it outdoors, and I'll link that up on the corner of the video. I believe it's that side, yeah, that you'll be looking. No, it'll be that side actually, just realised. There'll be a little tag come up. It's a really, really nice presentation to begin with. You know, you got a lovely box, the pull-off cap at the top, the texture on the box is really nice, and this cap is really, really heavy. Now, something that actually happened was that the paint actually hadn't dried off on the underside of my cap, and so has left a black paint residue on the top of my fragrance bottle, and which has actually come off of my finger before and actually given quite a bad stain to my clothing. So check out for that. Make sure that you don't stain yourself with any undried paint on your bottle, but that in itself is no problem because this is a beautiful fragrance. So I've got a couple of my trusty tester cards, and now the problem, this is an oud fragrance, and the problem that I always have with tester cards and oud fragrances is that tester cards never actually do oud fragrances justice, to be honest, in my opinion. Oh, this is a lovely, lovely, lovely light fragrance. That's what surprised me about it, is that it has this lovely spiciness and it has this very pungent oud. It's not overpowering, and it's not. It's certainly not kind of skanky, as Barry described it in his video. You know, anything particularly dirty, grimy, fecal, almost as it can begin to smell. Sometimes that can just be a little much in terms of oud fragrances, at least for me, and I know that it's the same for a lot of people. But it doesn't even get near that point. It really doesn't. It's just keeps the sweetness of the oud, and it keeps the resinous oud feeling, the really luxurious oud feeling, without kind of substituting and risking actually putting in any of that kind of verging on dirty smelling oud, which just doesn't feature in this, which is brilliant. But it still has a freshness. It's not heavy. It's quite a light fragrance, and again, it's spicy, but it's not a heavy spice. It's quite a light, tingly spice. It's a very, very, very interesting and incredibly well put together fragrance. And as I said, I think one of the things that just amazed me about this was just how surprising I found it. At this point when I tried this fragrance, I hadn't really ever smelt a fragrance, an oud fragrance that could possibly even be anywhere near fresh, and this really does start to kind of push in that fresh feeling, enough for me to actually be able to wear this in summertime. You know, possibly not on the hottest day of the year, but you know, at 20 degrees, you pull this off no problem. You know, it's really not an issue in terms of weather. Very versatile, but yeah, totally worth buying and checking out. And I'm so grateful I got sent this. But even if I'd tested this beforehand, I would have 100% gone and bought that fragrance. Really, really very nice. Minor checkup, I do not have a mic on currently. And the reason for that is because, having listened and seen comments and speaking to people on previous videos, I listen to my videos with a mic on whilst in this room, and then without a mic on in this room. And I think the audio actually, it just sounds a little nicer when you've got the slight echo of the room, the slight kind of atmosphere of the room. I don't really know, but it just adds a little bit more depth than just a droning voice, which perfectly suitable for outdoor filming, and more of that will be coming as we move further through the year and into the kind of sunnier months of the year. But for now, I've decided that I'll adjust the audio and I'll add some, I'll mix it, but I'm not going to add a mic on currently, because inside I actually think that not having a mic is actually nicer. So fragrance number 2 is Rosa Salas's The Greatest Oud. There isn't a theme for this. It isn't only oud fragrances, but I guess there's a slight theme for these first two. Another one which I was sent free of charge, but I honestly, this took me again by huge surprise. When I first tried it, this one took me a while to kind of recognize how incredible it was. You know, I knew it was good, but this one is one that really flourishes in the dry down, because not just oud comes out, the oud actually starts to kind of becomes, oh god, oh my god, you smell it straight, having sprayed it off the, wow. It's got this lovely, almost mandarin sweetness in the top. It's slightly citrusy, no sharpness, but it's slightly citrusy. Begins to become kind of tangy, but this sweet oud is so beautiful, and it is the most luxurious sweetness you can imagine. There's nothing that could smell better than this in terms of luxurious sweetness. Again, oud doesn't flourish. It's the best off paper, but honestly, I can't express how beautiful this is. Now, I don't have the notes in front of me because this is more just meant to be a kind of chatting video rather than reviewing video, but what I can tell you is it has a beautiful array of different woods and precious woods that start to kind of come into play the further the more this fragrance progresses. What I can remember from it though is that I think there's vanilla in the base, and this is what I remember. There's vanilla in the base, and it kind of gives this a really creamy would be the word. Creamy, quite a creamy base, and that it works so well with the oud, because obviously this oud is really sweet. Again, no dirtiness, just like the previous one, but it has this amazing, this incredible creaminess, which is lovely. And whilst it does have spiciness, it's not like it's not an overwhelming spiciness in any way. So it's a brilliant fragrance, and I appreciate being sent it from Vitor so much. You definitely need to check it out. Honestly, when I got it, like I said, it took me a couple of hours maybe to kind of fully appreciate its incredible nature, but it is an incredible fragrance. So I truly recommend the Greatest Oud from Rosa Salas. And finally, a designer fragrance, and I've got to thank Barry once again. I mention him all the time, but Barry from Sensualize, he sent me a tester of this, or he sent me a sample, sorry, of this, and yeah, I loved it. I wanted to know whether or not 1 million would give me a headache. He sent me 1 Million Parfum, so I bought 1 Million Parfum. One thing I will say about this is make sure, I mean, it's the same with the original 1 million, but don't spray it on white clothing. It's very, very strong in color. Oh boy, it's coming off the skin already. It's absolutely, oh, it's got this absolutely brilliant DNA that's kind of stuck with it. But do you know what they've done with this fragrance? They have built on it. They have built on it, and they've kind of improved it. They've made it more mature, and I'd say it's probably the most mature fragrance of the line. Well, Privé. Okay, 1 Million Parfum is certainly far more mature than the original 1 million, and definitely the 1 million Lucky. It's got this unbelievable salty note, which you hear that and you think salty note, and then you smell it again, you're like, that's madness. God, that's crazy. This is salty note in it. It's crazy, but it's great. It works so well, and it's interesting. It's different for a designer fragrance. It blows your mind, and it has this really brilliant tobacco note as well. It's just outstanding. It's just absolutely outstanding, as all of these are, but they're different, and that's why I've picked them, because they've all just blown me away. They've all taken me by surprise. Things that maybe I didn't have. I expected a lot from each of these, right? I got far more than I expected from each of these, though. It's sometimes you underestimate a fragrance whilst thinking it's going to be amazing, and that's a good thing, because if you're underestimating something and still in your head going, well, it's going to be good, isn't it? It's got to be good, and then you go, wow, this is a lot more than good, then that's a good purchase, isn't it? And yeah, really nice fragrance. Tobacco, lovely kind of smokiness coming from this now a little bit. Not heavy smokiness, not really overwhelming. Just a little bit, just a touch of smokiness, but it's also not as sickly sweet as the original. I don't own the original, but what I do have experience of is actually after Barry sent me the original, the sample of this parfum, I then went into Boots and I actually tested their bottle of 1 million, and God, they're different. They really are. They're very different. This is very, very different. If you own 1 million and you get headaches from it, or you think it's a little bit too sweet, you want something a little bit different, something that's better, you are 100% going to get something better if you go for the parfum. I can recommend it to you. If you like 1 million, then you will like 1 Million Parfum. Can't guarantee you'll like it more, because you may be just more into that kind of really heavy sweetness, but this is an incredible fragrance and it is worth a buy. It's slightly expensive in terms of designer fragrances, but you get what you pay for. I can guarantee that. So thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope you maybe just go check out at least 1 or 2 of these, and make sure to check out the fragrance wardrobe. Thank you very much once again for tagging me, and check the three brilliant YouTubers that I tagged down below. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Mr. Fragrance. Bye for now.